Unity, the once shiny crown jewel of game engines, has taken a nosedive that even a stunt pilot in Rust would give a standing ovation for. They may be waving goodbye to all of those games built on their engine on January 1st, and it's as heart-wrenching as witnessing Pikachu faint in a Pokemon battle and you're out of revives. Now let's chat about John Riccitello, Unity's CEO. It's like he took Unity's IPO cash and went on a shopping spree, but instead of power-ups, he snagged layoffs like they were going out of style. It's like he's playing CEO Simulator and choosing all the game over options. Unity's latest move, the Unity Runtime Fee, is akin to demanding $1 every time you reload in a game. Not exactly what you'd call price sensitive, right? But it's not about the money. It's like playing a game where the rules change every 5 minutes and you didn't get the memo. And what's the deal with Rust 2 saying, "So long, Unity," after a decade-long relationship? That's like a soap opera plot twist where the main character suddenly decides to become a pirate. Oh, and speaking of soap operas, remember Bohemia Interactive and their engine drama? If Facepunch, the Rust creators, decide to build their own engine, they might be in for a wild roller coaster ride of delays and frustration. It's like trying to build a spaceship in your backyard and hoping it takes off without crashing into the neighbor's treehouse. As for Unity, they're in hotter water than a cup of coffee in a heat wave. Investors are jumping ship faster than a character respawning after a surprise ambush. It's like Unity's leadership needs a GPS to find their way out of this maze, or they'll keep spiraling downward like a confused NPC. In the wild world of game development, Unity was once the rock star. It powered hits like Rust, Pokemon Go, and Among Us. Fast forward to 2020, they went public and scored a cool $41 billion. It seemed like they were leveling up, especially for games like Rust, their trusty sidekick since 2013. But then, plot twist alert, Unity's luck took a nosedive. Their share price, which reached a high of $196 in 2021, crashed to a measly $36 per share by September 2023. That's an 80% plummet. Talk about your critical hits. And guess who's sitting in the hot seat? John Riccitello, Unity's CEO. John Riccitello, the guy steering Unity since 2014, played a major role in their ups and downs. He went from a regular CEO to a high roller with a $22 million salary after the IPO. With all that cash, Unity went shopping, buying studios left and right. But when it came to their own workforce, they chose layoffs over team building. It's like they skipped the How to Be a Good Boss tutorial in their employee handbook. Despite earlier promises of no layoffs, Unity handed pink slips to over 200 employees. It's like getting hit with a plot twist in a game you were cruising through. Riccitello's interviews didn't help either. He called developers who criticized monetization big hits. Unity's image suffered more blows than a character in a Dark Souls boss fight. And let's not forget the questionable decisions like buying a malware company. Their share prices hit rock bottom in 2022, and it felt like Unity was stuck in a never-ending game of, oops, we messed up. It's like their stock was on a roller coaster with no brakes. Fast forward to September 12th, 2023, and Unity drops a bombshell, the Unity Runtime Fee. It's like adding a toll booth to your favorite racing game, but instead of coins, they want real cash. Developers got charged for each installation past a certain limit. But here's the kicker. It wasn't a one-time payment. It was for every installation. It's like you're getting charged every time you accidentally respawn by falling off a cliff. Facepunch Studios, the Rust creators, got hit with a $12,500 bill for 100,000 downloads. But it's not just about the money, it's the betrayal. Gary Newman, the Rust mastermind, was more furious than a gamer who just lost a match due to lag. Unity broke their trust, and other game studios felt the same. It's like Unity pulled the rug out from under them in the middle of a boss battle. Now everyone's wondering what's next for Rust and Rust 2. Switching to a new engine after a decade isn't a walk in the park. It's more like trying to juggle flaming swords while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. Facepunch might create their own engine, but history shows it's like trying to build a rocket ship in your garage. Lots of setbacks and a few explosions along the way. Unity's facing a storm of backlash. Investors are jumping ship like they're fleeing from a fire-breathing dragon. A change in leadership might be the lifeline they need, or they'll keep sailing their ship straight into an iceberg. As for Unity's relationship with the US government, it's like they've got an extra life in the form of military contracts. It's like a bonus level in the game of business. In the end, Unity's fall from grace is a lesson in the world of gaming. It's a reminder that trust and transparency are like power-ups you should never lose. Whether Unity bounces back or continues its downward spiral, the game's not over yet. So grab your controllers, folks, and let's see what the next level holds.